Hello and welcome back to another episode of Bantz with Lawrencia. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing great. Now for today's episode, I want to talk about UK COS scam or UK Certificate of Sponsorship scam. Now, this has been going on for a very long time, but usually what people do is they promise people job, they give them COS, and when they get here, there's no work anywhere. And at that point, they've paid tens of thousands of pounds just to get here, and there's no work. Some of them were sleeping on the street. UK BBC did a documentary on this whole thing, and people were just like, oh, these people are not lucky. But now people have taken it to a different level. Now they are issuing fake COS. Now let me just take it back. COS is basically certificates of sponsorship, where a company, you apply for a job and they give you COS for you to take to the embassy to apply for a visa, and when you get the visa you come and then you start working. This is free. Okay, this is actually free if you go through the right process. Let's say you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're in IT, you're a teacher, or a profession that you can actually get a job from your home country going to a different country. They issue certificates of sponsorship. The company employing you will give you a certificate of sponsorship, and then that is what you take to the embassy to get your visa. You relocate and then you start working. Now, when this whole thing went to a different level was when UK started looking for healthcare workers. You know, after the pandemic, they were short of staff, short of workers. They were now issuing certificates of sponsorship to any company who can bring in workers. Basically, a lot of people took advantage of this. You can even partner with an agency who already recruits workers. Your role is basically to get them workers, because after the Brexit, they were short of staff and everything, so people were recruiting from all over the world, and UKBA, which is the UK Home Office, made it easy by issuing certificates of sponsorship. But requirement is you have a registered company who is on the website. They will issue you a COS, which you now give the number to your candidate who you have given employment, because people started taking advantage of it. A whole lot of people, not just Nigerians, Africans, even the Indians, you know, a lot of the Asian countries, they started making money out of these things. You see somebody wake up one morning, register for company, and then apply for COS, and then you're issuing COS to everybody. Sometimes they tell these people there are no jobs, but once you get into the UK, you can work. But the stipulation there is that that person can only work 20 hours outside of the hours that you're giving them. And sometimes some of these people are honest about it, to tell them that we don't have work, but we're getting you to the UK. They pay tens, like I hear 10,000, 15,000, 20,000 people are paying just to come to the UK. And then when you get here, there's no job. You start seeing the reality of things. BBC did a documentary on this thing. People were not listening. But right now, they've even taken it to a different level, where people are now issuing fake COS. Like, why would you take 10,000 from somebody just to give them a fake COS? Why would you do that? A lot of people have been banned from the UK for 10 years because they applied with a fake COS. There's this lady that cried to Very Dark Black Man, saying that she paid 22 million Naira for COS. When they got to the embassy, like, they sold everything, sold their houses, resigned from their job, sold properties, sold land, borrowed money, only to get to the embassy and they were told that the COS was fake and they were banned from the UK for 10 years. We're thinking, okay, maybe this is a one-off. This is a one-off. And we started hearing stories. Now, these are people in Nigeria. Another person said they were added to a WhatsApp group, and the admin told them that this is somebody who does COS, vouched for the person, and she got 38,000 pounds. She literally gathered people, both people in the UK looking for how to change from student visa to work visa. They gathered these people 38,000 pounds. They gave to this lady, only for her to issue fake COS to people. People are stranded. Now we are hearing about £100,000 from a church group. What God cannot do does not exist group. They gathered people. People paid £100,000 to get COS, only to be issued fake COS. Then you start wondering, okay, you get information, somebody told you, you're seeing people complaining left, right, center, and then you think, okay, this is a church. This is a church that what God cannot do does not exist. So whether everybody is having problems, I believe what God cannot do does not exist. You went there, you put your money there, £100,000. Like, how heartless can people be? And this was a pastor, not the main pastor, but it's a pastor in the church. People are selling up properties. People are selling up lands. People are like, and you know this thing is fake. You know this thing is fake. Why would you allow people go through and then collect that amount of money from people? People don't have conscience. And when you tell people, listen, if you want to travel, sit down, do your research. Do your research. 2 weeks ago, was it where I was having a conversation with somebody? We're having a conversation about bringing people into the country. And I was telling them, okay, this is how I'm going to do mine. And they were saying this is how they're going to do theirs. And I was trying to explain to them that this road you're about to take, hey, it's still the same, come to do masters and then change to COS. I said, why would you go through all that route? Why not do something? Save yourself. Save yourself. Save yourself. And they were giving me, this person was successful. This person did theirs. Which at some point we're just going back and forth. Like, this person was trying to educate me on UK laws. Less than 3 years in this country. You're trying to educate me on UK laws. I now whipped out my CV. I was like, you're talking to Britain, and you're telling me about British laws? I was trying to explain to them that, listen, people lie. Okay, let's say this road, there is a problem there. Why do you want to go there? Why do you still want to pass through that route? Things are not working with COS currently. A lot of people are paying £15,000 to come here to do their masters, hoping on changing to COS. Why don't you just sit down and look for a different way to come? It might take you longer, but it's going to save you a whole lot of stress. So many people are depressed. So many people cannot even pay their school fees. Some people are in psychiatric homes right now. Students who came from Nigeria to study, they are in psychiatric ward because they have lost it. You came here thinking, okay, I am going to pay half of my school fees or pay part of my school fees. I'm going to come here, I'm going to be working, and then getting money to pay school fees. You cannot do all those things. How much are you earning? Cost of living right now in the UK is crazy. Anybody thinking they want to come here to do masters or want to come here to study, make sure you have paid your school fees in full. If you have not paid your school fees in full, my brother, my sister, sit down, look for a different route. Sit down, look for a different route. If it's COS that you want to use, make sure that you get a job. Don't pay. COS is free. If you get a legitimate company that is actually looking for a staff, that is actually looking for that is looking to fill a role, COS is free. They are going to give it to you for free because they need you. But you have to be patient. You have to take maybe do some exams, take some courses to be able to qualify for those roles. Or people just want to wake up one morning, sell up everything. Like somebody that paid 22 million naira. Just imagine a young family paying 22 million naira to come to the UK. One of them could have easily gone back to school. One of them could have easily just said, okay, you keep working, let me resign from work. What are the job opportunities in the UK that I could easily get a COS, like get a company to sponsor me and we'll do this application. Look for those kind of job. If that requires you to go back to school, my sister, my brother, go back to school. Some people tell you, oh, you're telling me to go back to school. It's going to take me 3 years. It's going to take me 4 years. I don't have that. I just want to leave right now. Go to Ghana. If you want to leave Nigeria, if Nigeria is giving you, like your mental health is suffering, go to Ghana, go to Niger, go to wherever you want to go. Get that qualification. Get the qualification, then apply. Once you get certain qualifications, you can go to the US, you can go to the UK, you can go to Canada, you can go to Australia. It must not be UK. It must not be UK. I know UK are the additional visas, left, right, center. They need your money. These people need your money. They are not just giving you visas because, they like you. They are not giving you COS because they appreciate you a lot. They need you. UK Home Office issuing COS for free. They are not stupid. They know they need these people. They need people to come to fill in gaps after Brexit. They need these people. But you and I, mostly first generation immigrants, they have suffered. They went through immigration problem. They did all those things, and now you just want to torment people. I took the liberty to actually go online to see how easy it is to actually get registered with UK Border Force to apply for certificates of sponsorship. It was very easy. It was for you to get about, depending on the size of your company, if you have between, I think 10 to 50 workers, you pay £150. 150 something pounds. Let's say I went, because my conscience, home training, gree me complete. I couldn't, my conscience couldn't allow me to complete the application. Let's say I completed the application. I can bring in 50 people. I paid £150. I can apply for COS for 50 people. They can give me 50 COS. And if I collect the minimum people are collecting for COS right now is £10,000. 10,000 times 50. 10,000 times 50. But if I get all these things, which job am I going to give those people? I don't have any work. I am not registered with any company. So you collect all this money, you bring them here, people will start swearing for you. But people have even taken it a top notch that they just fake COS numbers and give people only for them collecting £100,000, £38,000, 22 million naira, and giving people fake COS. Where is your conscience? Where is your conscience? And people applying for COS, do your due diligence. Must you pay? It is free. It is free. Don't apply for masters thinking, okay, I have a friend who did their masters and now they got COS for 5 years. So that is your game plan. Sit down and re-strategize. That may not work. Just because it worked for somebody does not mean it's going to work for you. You're paying £15,000 to come here to do your masters, and then you're paying over £10,000 to do COS after masters. Then you're working for 5 years because most of these companies don't even have jobs. Then you're working for 5 years you're just in limbo for 5 years. So masters, and then we're talking about 6 years. You're just depressed in the system. You don't know your fate. You don't even know if you're going to get the indefinite that you're looking for, because the company that you're working for does not even exist. Does not exist. Maybe by that time they folded up. How are you going to renew your visa? How are you going to get, people should think before they do things. And when you start telling people that, listen, this is not the only way. These are ways. Do it like this, do it like this. Do yourself a favor. If you're in Nigeria right now and you want to travel, go back to school. Don't come here to come and study. Don't come here to come and study. Stay there in Nigeria. Do that course that you want to do. Let's say if I'm in Nigeria right now and I want to go to Canada, what I will do is to ask questions. What are the job prospects in Canada? What are the jobs that they are actually looking for people? Most times these things are on the home office or the embassy website, where you see jobs that they are actually currently looking for people. Go do those courses, apply for those jobs. If you get that job, it is all you're going to pay for is your visa application and your flight tickets. You're not paying anybody for getting you a COS. But people will not listen. Because A did it, they want to do it. Because it worked for A, they want to do it. Just because A was able to escape it does not mean that you can escape it. This is 2024. 2024, and church due people £100,000. We're talking about over 100 million naira. A church, okay? WhatsApp group duped people £38,000. We're talking about over 40 million naira. Okay? Now, individual family, young family that wanted to travel, they duped them 22 million naira. COS. These are just a few. Now, there's this lawyer that explained everything. He's a lawyer in the UK. Watch this video. Maybe this will explain it better. Watch this.
Hi, I'm Dele Olawande. I've been going on about this certificate of sponsorship fraud and COS fraud. You see, people are not supposed to sell the certificate to you. It is a document that should be freely issued by employers. So when I talked about it 2 days ago about certificate of sponsorship fraud, I have received more than 150 complaints. People are acting as agents. They took £120,000, £69,000, £79,000, £17 million, getting £7,500 from people, 8,000, 5,000. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. These are lives being ruined, people being banned for 10 years for something they knew nothing about. So when you are outside the country, you are desperate, you want to go out, get advice, get legal advice. And I saw that a lot of you, when lawyers ask you to pay for legal advice, you don't. You are looking for a package. Now, as at the last count, I have all the evidence. I'm a senior lawyer in the United Kingdom, and I wouldn't come out into the public to say things that I have no evidence on. Now, I have a lot of evidence showing how many people were banned for 10 years because they gave them the wrong document. Now, you are taking money from people. You are selling the wrong documents to them. You are selling documents that are deceptive, that are not real to them. You are ruining lives. People have sold their houses. They've sold their cars. They've resigned from their jobs. They've said to their children that they are traveling abroad, and they ended up being banned for something they did not do. It is totally wrong. It is man's inhumanity to man. And some of you, when we are commenting, when we are talking about this, you don't really know what we are talking about. So you have to be careful. You are desperate to get out of your home country, especially Nigerians. You are so desperate. Now, it's not just happening with Nigerians, it's happening with Ghanaians, with Zimbabweans, and no other African, but the ones, the reports I've had for the last 2 days, it is depressing. Even though I'm not the victim, but the amount of people crying to me for justice is unbelievable. Stop buying COS. Get advice. Know what is involved. And some of you who got certificate of sponsorship and got to the United Kingdom, you can get a job. With your wife, with your children, you are not being paid. You are not being given hours. So you left comfort to come into discomfort, and a lot of you are now becoming depressed. Stop it and get advice. If it's possible, don't travel for now because they have messed up a lot of lives. Dele Olawanle is my name. Thank you.
Now, after watching this video, if you still want to go through COS, pay money for somebody to get you a COS, then my sister, my brother, you need to sit down and reevaluate your life. Reevaluate your life. If after watching this video, you want to come to the UK as a student, you've not paid your school fees, and your strategy is to finish school and then change to COS, my brother, my sister, sit down and pray against village people. Pray against village people. It is village people that is following you. It is village people. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. I know I've been shouting, but it's frustrating because you say these things and people don't even, they will tell you, because it did not work for that person, it's going to work for me. Sit down, they look na dog name. Anyway, thank you very much for watching today's episode. Today's episode is once again sponsored by Didi Beauty's wigs. Hey, now I can't even, as you can see, I am looking as gorgeous as ever. If you want something like this, get in touch with us. Our details are on the screen and then we get you sorted. Thank you very much for watching today's episode. Please like and share. Thank you very much. Bye bye.